Hi, today we are going to discuss about operators in Java. The first operator is arithmetic operator. So here you are having a different types of operators: addition, so addition of numbers, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulo division. The modulo division can be applied to floating point types also. For example, if you are going to see this particular program, so here what we are going to do is we are going to take the two particular values. So the values are 10.5 and 3.2, so which are dividend and divisor. So for example, if you are going to divide the particular number, so 10.5 with 3.2, so you will be getting the remainder. So this should be stored, so where you are going to perform the modulo division. Without losing the precision, what you are doing is you are going to use the double. Next one is unary operators. So here you are having a unary plus, unary minus, increment and decrement operator and logical negation operator. Next operators are relational operators. So here we are going to use equal to, not equals to, greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. The outcome of these operations is Boolean. Next one is logical operators. Here we are going to use logical and logical OR. So here we are going to see the truth table. For example, if you are going to see the AND truth table, you can able to assume this 0 means false and 1 means true. Here if you are going to see the value of 0 and 0, so which should be 0. And if in the AND operator the both ones are there, so then the result will be 1. It means both are true, then only it will be true. So these cases it will be false. So here also 0 1 or 1 0 or 0 0, it will be false. Next one is OR operator. In OR operator, either 1 should be true, so otherwise it will be false. Here if you are going to notice 0 1, so which is going to result 1, 1 0 also resulting 1, 1 1 is also resulting 1. False false, it is going to result a false only, because neither one is having a true. So here when we are going to use the logical operators, for example, if you are going to consider the expression 1 and expression 2, so you are going to check, so both should be true, then only it is going to result the true, so otherwise it is going to be written the false. If you are going to consider the OR operator, expression 1 or expression 2, either one should be true, otherwise it will be evaluated as false. Next one is bitwise operator. Here you are having a different symbols: bitwise not, bitwise bitwise OR and bitwise and bitwise XOR, and you are having a shift right, shift left and shift right. So here you are having a three particular greater than symbols. It is used for unsigned shift. The bitwise operator works on integer types: byte, character, short, int, long. All integer types except character are signed integer. 2's complement method is used to represent integers. The higher order bit represents the sign of an integer, no matter how the higher order bit is set. Shift operators provide more efficiency when dealing with multiplication and division. Value and number, so between that you are going to use a shift operator. So then value you are going to use a right shift operator. Similarly you are going to use a signed bit whenever preserved. Next one is ternary operator. So the ternary operator is used basically whenever you are going to write a, for example, if else statement. So here you are going to, expression 1 is going to check the condition. If true, so expression 2 will be printed, else expression 3 will be printed. So for example, if you are going to consider the number equal to 42, so now within the system.out.println, within a single line you can able to print the whether the particular number 42 is a odd or even. Here you are having a number 42, so 42 will be divided by 2. So whenever the 42 is divided by 2, so whether it is equal to 0. So let us execute this particular ternary operator. So now run the file. So now it has shown the number is even. So now I am going to enter number is 41. Run file. It is going to show it is odd. So now it has shown number is odd. Operators from highest precedence to lowest precedence. So here we are having a different types of operators. So here we are having a postfix, unary, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, shifting, relational, equality, and bitwise and bitwise exclusive or bitwise or logical and logical or ternary and assignment operator. So here we are having a operators from highest to lowest precedence. So expression, so post increment, post decrement, pre increment, pre-decrement, unary plus, unary minus, logical not, bitwise not, multiplicative operators, multiplication, division, modulo division, additive operators, addition, subtraction, shift operators, left shift, and right shift with zero extension. It is used for signed bits. Operators from lowest precedence in relational operators, less than, greater than, less than equals to, greater than equals to, equality operators, equal to, not equals to, bitwise and bitwise or, bitwise XOR, logical and logical OR. Ternary operator as we have seen earlier. So next, assignment operator, equals to, plus or equals to, minus equal to, multiplication equals to, division equals to, modulo division equals to, and equals to, XOR equals to, OR equals to, left shift equals to, right shift equals to, whereas right shift with unsigned integer. So if you are going to have a signed integer, so you are going to use signed bit. Operator with highest precedence are evaluated before operators with the lowest precedence. If you want to override the default precedence, we can use the parenthesis. Operator precedence and associativity. So binary operators left to right associativity, for which it is right to left. Unary operators right to left associativity. Postfix operator left to right associativity. Conditional or ternary operator right to left associativity. Parenthesis, it can be used to override the default precedence and associativity. So next one, we go to the control structures. So statements can be a single statements or a group of statements included within the flower braces or a block of statements. Sequencing, this is the straightforward execution of statements in the order they appear. Each statement is executed one after other in sequence. Selection, this involves making decisions in the code. Common constructs for selection are the if statement, else statement, switch statement, etc. These allow the program to choose between different paths of execution based on conditions. Repetition, it is also called looping. This type of control structure involves repeating a set of statements multiple times. Common loop constructs include for, while, and do while loops. They help in executing block of code repeatedly until a certain condition is met. Jump statements, it allows altering the normal flow of control. Examples include break, continue, and return statements. Sequencing, for example, if you want to print that three particular statements, for example, this is the first statement, this is second statement, and this is the third statement. So each and every time, instead of printing first, second, and third, so you can able to use a for loop or while loop. You can able to print which is first, second, third, and as many times you can able to include. So here the sequencing is a sequence of statements will be executed. If you want iterative, so then you will be using a loops. If else, so here if is a condition, we are going to check by certain assertion. For example, you are going to check the condition. If the condition is true, the statement will be executed. Else, so if it is not true, the statement 2 will be executed. So likewise, you can able to execute if else statement. Here you are having an example program. In this program, the name of the class is if else. By using this scanner, you are going to accept the input through the keyboard. Scanner object name is scanner equal to new scanner system.in is going to accept the value through the keyboard. The user should know, so he has to enter a number. For that, you are going to ask enter a number. So now by the whatever the number he has entered, it should be an integer type, so you have declared a integer number, and the number you are going to accept through the scanner should be stored and assigned to this particular number by using a scanner object scanner dot next int. So it is going to store the number under the number. So here the criteria is you are going to check number is greater than 5. So whatever the number you are going to enter is greater than 5. So then it is going to print the number is greater than 5. Else, so if you have entered the value less than 5, then this particular statement will be executed. The number is not greater than 5. So finally you are going to close this scanner. So if you are not going to close this scanner also, it is also executed. So let us execute this particular program. So here it is going to ask a enter a number. I am going to enter a number 10. So here it has resulted number is greater than 5. For example, I am going to run again this particular program. Enter a number is 3. So it is going to show the number is not greater than 5. Next one is nested if. Nested if statement allow you have an if statement within another if statement. So this is often used when you need to check multiple conditions in a hierarchical manner. So next one is dangling else. So this problem arises when there is a multiple if and else statements nested and it's not clear to which if else belongs to. So here next one is else if ladder. So here in this else if ladder, here you will be executing a condition 1 statement 1 if the condition 2 statement 2 else statement n. Here you are going to check the if the condition 1 is true, the statement 1 will be executed. Else, so this is failed, so else again you are going to check the condition 2, statement 2 will be executed. So if these two statements are failed, it is going to execute the statement n, so which will be default if two statements are failed. Nested if program. So here you are having a nested if program. In a similar manner, you are going to ask the user to enter a number. So here whatever the number is greater than 0, so it is going to print the number is a positive number. So here again it should be positive number. So again it is going to check the number will be modulo divided by 2 equal to 0. So if it is equal to 0, then it is going to print an it is a even number. Else it is going to print an odd number. Else if the user has entered a number less than 0, so then it is going to print a negative number. Else it is going to print a number is 0. So finally you are going to close the scanner. Let us execute this particular program. The name of the program is nested if example. So I am going to copy the nested if example. So I'll click the project and create a Java class. So name of the program is nested if example. So now I have finished executing. So now I am going to copy the name of the program. So now I have pasted this particular program and run the program. So here it is going to ask a enter a number 5. So 5 it is going to show the number is positive number and it is an odd number. Again I will run this particular program and again it is going to ask enter a number minus 5 minus 5. So it has shown the number is negative number. So now again I will run the program, enter a number 0. So the number you have entered is 0. So it has identified. So in this manner you can able to execute the nested if example. Next, switch. Switch is a multi-way branching. So where you can able to execute the switch. So for example, if example for this switch is current bill. So current bill will be classified into the commercial, agriculture and residential. So at the time the particular billing person will be entering a number. So enter your category whether it is an residential, commercial or agriculture. So based upon that the particular unit price will vary. So here you are going to specify the switch expression. So now whatever the expression you have given, so that based upon the value accepted by the switch cases will be executed. If a user has entered a 1, case 1 will be executed. So then statement will be executed. So then break. So it will be breaking from the switch. So otherwise case 2 will be executed. So then statement will be executed and break will be executed. Similarly, if all the cases are failed, the default case will be executed. So here whatever the statement has given by the user, that particular statement will be executed. Here you are having an example of switch. So here switch is going to accept the day of week. So already we have declared a what is day of week. Day of week is an integer variable and its value is 3. So 3 will be accepted to this switch. So now which case will be executed? So now in case 1, so it is not 1. 2, the value is not 2. 3, the value is 3. The by default Wednesday should be executed. So now case 4, case 5, case 6 and so on. So let us see this particular program. So now here already we have given the day of week. So instead of this particular day of week, I am going to use a scanner. So already we have given a scanner here instead of scanner number. So we will copy this particular content. We are going to take the day of week. So here instead of this one, we are going to assign the value to day of week. So now I am going to execute this particular program. So now it is going to show an error. So why it is showing error? We have used a scanner, so we have not used the import statement. So import java.util.scanner should be used before. So next here I have pasted that one. So now so here we have declared 2 times integer. So now no particular errors as found. So now run the file. Enter a number. So day instead of enter a number, enter day of week. Enter a day of week 6. So now it is going to show it's a Saturday. So now rerun the file. Enter the day of week. I am entering 2. So here I am going to enter 2. So it is showing it is a Tuesday. So like that, whatever the day of week you are going to enter, you are going to enter that one. So now default case should be executed. So for example, other than 7, whatever the value I am going to enter, I am going to enter 0 or 8. So now the default case will be executed, invalid day of the week. So in this manner, you can able to execute the switch statement. Next, repetition or iteration. So basically, if you want to repeat the number of times the iteration, so you will be using this particular while, do while, and again you will be using a for loop. So here you are going to use a while condition. Based upon the condition, you will be checking the condition. Based upon the condition, this particular statements will be executed. In do while, do is going to execute the particular statement first, so then it is going to check the condition. So first it execute the statement, later on it check the condition. If it is true, once again the particular do while will be executed, otherwise it will be exited. So do while is useful in case of menus. You are having an example increment while loop. So whereas here you are going to use a class decrement while loop. So here we have assigned a in increment. So 0 to 5 we are going to increment. So here you are going to decrement 5 to 0 you are going to decrement. So here you are going to check the while condition. Whatever the value you are going to enter, so count is less than 5. So count is 0 initially, until it is less than 5 it will be incremented. So first it is going to print by using a system.out.println count. So later on here we are going to increment at the end of the while loop. So count plus plus. So again count will be initially 0. So then count will be 1. So here it will be look like. So first initially count will be 0, 0 less than 5, which is true. So after incrementing, so it will become 1, 1 less than 5, next 2 less than 5, next 3 less than 5, 4 less than 5. So next whenever 5 is there, so 5 less than 5, so which is false, then it is going to exit from the loop. So whereas if you are going to consider this particular statement in this particular loop, so here you are going to print do, you are using a do while. So here you are going to use a do while and you are going to ask the user enter a number. So already the number is 5, so we are not using a scanner. So now here number will be printed, 5 will be printed, and it will be decremented. So what will happen? So initially here the condition will be checking. So now initially already you have checked 5. So 5 is greater than 0. So it is true. So 5 is greater than 0. It is true. So now here already the 5 is entered. So now here within the do for 5 is printed and number is decremented. So 5 is decremented means 4. So 4 is greater than 0, true. So then it is going to execute the statement, and again it will be checking the condition. So now the value has 4 has decremented to 3. So now it is going to check the condition, it is going to print, and again it is going to decrement the particular number. Next it will become 2. So next 2 will be printed, and again it will be decrementing the number 1. So 1 is greater than 0. So then whenever 0 is 1 is decremented to 0, so then the condition will be failed. So 0 is greater than 0, the condition will be failed. So then the program will be terminated. So let us execute this particular program. So now here increment while loop. So we are going to run the file. So now the count is initially 0. So it has printed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here until 5 less than 5. So 5 less than 5 is a condition, so which will be fail. So because it will be exiting from the loop and as well as from the program. So here we have given the program up to here only. So next let us execute this particular program. So the name of the program is decrement while loop. So now I will run the file. So now from 5 it is going to start, number 5 printed, and the condition will be checking 4 is greater than 0, so true. So next and up to 1 it will be printed. So next one is for loop. So for loop you are having a 3 particular items, so which is initialization, condition, and iteration. So initialization means you are going to initialize the condition. So the next you are going to check by the condition. Next iteration you can able to increment or decrement. So based upon this condition, the particular statement will be printed. So next, the comma operator in Java can be used to combine multiple statements in a initialization, condition, and iteration parts of for loop. Here you are having a for loop. So in this for loop, you are going to use a initialization, condition, and increment or decrement. For example, as we have seen in Java, you can able to use a comma. So here we are using a comma operator. So it allows to include the multiple expression in a single statement. So within the single statement, you have assigned the two variables I equal to 0, j equal to 10. So two statements we have given. So so that you have initialized two at once. So then condition you are going to check I less than 5. I is 0, I less than 5. So then if this condition is true, I will be incremented and j will be decremented. Here also if you are going to notice, so here also you are going to use a comma. So here you have used a comma. So two times we have used a comma. So in Java, comma is allowed in order to include the multiple expressions in a single statement. So then it will be printed. So here let us compile this particular program. So now run the program. So now it has shown I value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and j value will be printed 10 to 6. So what we have given, I is 0, the condition is I less than 5. So until 5. So 0 to 4 will be printed, 5 is less than 5, the condition will be failed. So then it is going to print. So now j will be decremented. So here at last j will be decremented. So how many times j will be decremented? Here we have not initialized the j in condition. So only I less than 5. So j will be printed until I less than 5. So 4 times j should be decremented. So here I is incrementing, j is decrementing, j value is 10. So j is having a value 10. So 10 is decremented to 9, 9 is decremented to 8, 8 is decremented to 7, 7 is decremented to 6. So until whatever the statement 4 times it has executed, so this also executed number of times until I less than 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So up to 4 it has executed j. So this is another example of for loop. So here I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So just it is going to print the value 0 to 4. So here j equal to 5, j greater than 0, j minus minus. It is going to decrement the value up to 1. So 1 is greater than 0. So let us compile this particular program. Increment for loop is the name of the class. So create a new class. Class name is increment for loop. So run the file. So the for loop has incremented 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So next this is incrementing. So next we will see how you are going to decrement. So here you are having a decrement for loop. So it is here value you have initialized is 5. So 5 to 0 it will be keep on decrementing. So now it has decremented, 5 will be printed first. So next it has decremented to 4, 3, 2, 1. So and when it decremented from 1 to 0, so it is going to check 0 greater than 0, the condition will be failed. Up to 1 it has printed the value of j. Next one is for each loop. For each loop is also called as enhanced for loop. Its feature is introduced in Java to simplify the process of iteration through arrays and collections. It provides a concise and expressive way to traverse elements without the need for explicit indexing or iterator manipulation. For example, here you have created a data type and variable. So here data type will be integer and the variable is name of the variable name. So here you are going to specify the collection. Here data type is a type of the elements in the collection, variable that represents the current element for each iteration. Collection is an array which you want to iterate. So next statement is a block of code to be executed for each element in the collection. The enhanced for loop handles the initialization, condition checking and iteration, make the code more readable and less error prone. It is particularly useful when you do not need the index of the elements and just want to perform an operation on each element in the collection. So here if you are going to see, here you have declared an array. In this program you have declared an array. The array contains 5 number of elements. So now you have declared a number. NUM is an identifier. NUM is an identifier and numbers is a name of an array you are going to loop through. So you need an identifier to identify the number of elements inside the array. So this particular enhanced for loop is used when you want to print all the number of array elements inside the array. So here you are going to print the NUM. So NUM is going to keep track the numbers array. It is going to print based upon the indexing. Array is going to store based upon index. For example, here you are going to store the index element. 10 is going to store in the index element 0 and 25 is going to store in the index element 1 and whereas 5 is going to store in the index element 2, and 8 is going to store in the index element 3, and 15 is going to store in the index element 4. So in this manner you are going to store the number of array elements. So let us execute this particular program. So now I am going to run the file. So now it has shown all the items in an array 10, 25, 5, 8 and 15. So now in this example we have seen how enhanced for loop is used, what is an identifier, what is an array you are going to loop through. So next example, here you are having a next example. Here the same values are declared 10, 25, 5, 8 and 15. So and here you have made a one target element. Target element is 8. So you are going to search target element 8 if it is found inside the array. So here you have used a boolean data type. The name of the data type is element found. So by default you have assigned false. So boolean can be either true or false. So now you are going to use a enhanced for loop. So the syntax is same as previous one. Int numbers. So int number is numbers. So number is an identifier. Number is an name of the array which contains 10 to 15. So here you are going to check the condition. If number is equal to target element. So what is target element? The target element which the value is given is 8. So then is element found. So is element found is boolean data type, so which is already declared as false. Is element found is true. So if 8 is found is true, then it is going to come out of the loop. So now if element is found, the element 8 is found, so then it is going to print message target element is found in the array, else the target element is not found in the array. So now I am going to copy the name of the program. New Java class. Name of the class is search element in an array. So now I am going to run the program. So it is going to show element 8 is found in the array. So for example, instead of 8 I am going to type 0. So now I am going to run the file. The element is not found in the array. So it means else has executed, the element is not found in the array was executed. Next one is jump statements. So in order to use the jump statements, you are having a break, continue and return statements. Break is used to exit from the switch loops, and in case of nested loops, break transfers control out of the loop in which it is present. Next one is break label. The control will be transferred out of the labeled block. Block should be labeled. Blocks are labeled by putting the label in front of the block. So next continue, it is used by passing the remaining part of the loop. So next one is continue label. It is used to bypass the label block. So next return, it is used to return the data calling from the method. So here jump statements. So break, continue and return. First one is break. Break to exit from the switch and loops. In case of nested loops, break transfers the control out of the loop in which it is present. So next one is break label. The control is transferred out of the labeled block. Blocks should be labeled. Blocks are labeled by putting the label in front of the block. Next one is continue. It is used to bypass the remaining part of the loop. So next one is continue label. It is used to bypass the labeled block. Return data. Return from called method to calling method. Next one is break and continue. Here already we have seen in switch block, already we are using a break. Here we are using a for loop. So for loop we are going to execute until I less than 10, I equal to 0, I less than 10. Here you are going to check the condition. If I equal to 5, so then you are going to break the loop, because I is found in the loop, you are going to break. So finally it is going to print what at which point it has come out of the loop. So next one, here we are going to use a continue example. The same example, if even 5 is found, so I equal to 5, so then it has to skip 5 from the iteration, so it is going to continue. So 5 will be skipped and it will be continue, and it is going to print the elements, so which we from the loop. So let us see this particular example. So if you are going to run this particular file, so it has found 5, so the loop has been executed 0 1 2 3 4, and it has break at I equal to 5, because I equal to 5 is found in this particular loop. So next it has to skip the 5 by using a continue. So 5 will be skipped if you are using a continue, even by using the condition I equal to 5. So now I am going to run this particular example. So now here it is going to show, so skipping at 5. So because here we have given skipping iteration I equal to 5. So now here we have used a continue, so it has skipped the 5. For example, I am going to delete this particular statement. So it will not 5 skipping at 5 will not be printed on the screen. So 0 1 2 3 4, 5 is not printed, so then it has printed 6 7 8 9. So next, return and label. So here we are going to use how we are going to use the return and label. So here we have declared an array 1 2 3 4 5, and here we have given target equal to 3. So it means the third item element is 3. So now here we have given a int result equal to find element numbers comma target. So we have given a find element. So next, numbers comma target are the two particular parameters. So now it is a method. So find element is a method. So now here if you are going to see, public static find element is a particular method. So now here you can able to notice the control will be comes to here. So now the two parameters are numbers and target. Here number is an array and target is defined as int target. So now here if you are going to see this particular program, you are going to check the condition. If result is not equal to -1, so then it is going to print element, and whatever the target is there found at index. So index will be related from, so for example how index will be related. So here 1 is at 0 to position, so next 2 is 1 position, and 3 is at 2 position, and 4 is at the third position, and 5 is at fourth position. Array index is going to start from 0 to n minus 1. So now here what we are doing, so it is going to found the target element is found at index element, so it is going to print the result. Target element is third, else it is going to print the message target element is not found in the array. So now here you are having a method, so whenever result is there, so it is going to this particular method and it has to return the element. So now here two parameters are accepted, find element array int target. So now it is going to check the target element by using a for loop. I equal to 0, initialization, I less than array dot length. So what is array dot length? So array contains 5 number of elements 0 to n minus 1. So it is having a 0 to n minus 1, 0 to n minus 1 number of elements. So now the here, so the array size is it means maximum number of elements, maximum number of, so it is maximum number of elements. So until the last number of element, so this particular loop will be executed. Array dot length means maximum length minus 1, it means 0 to n minus 1, until 0 to n minus 1 this particular loop will be executed, and here we are going to increment the I plus plus. So now array of I, what is array of I? 0 1 2 3 4, this is the index. So array of 0 1, 1 is equal to target, what is the target element? 3, 3 is the target element, whether the target element is found. So it is not found, so then it is going to print exiting find the element with index I. So next it is going to repeat next iteration 1, so 1 is having 2. So next, yeah, at index 2 the element is 3, so now the element is found, so then it is going to return to the function. So finally it is going to print check the particular value. So if your result is not equal to -1, so then it is going to show target element is found, otherwise not found. So here finally it is going to exiting find the element with -1 return -1. Now we will execute this particular program. Return example. So now the element is 3 found at index 2. So it has shown element found at index 2. So now for example if I am going to rename element is 5. So rerun the program. So now element is 5 found at index 4. It means 0 to n minus 1. So at fourth position. So it has found. For example if I am going to change 1. So and again I am going to run the program. 1 is found at index 0. It means 0 to n minus 1 elements. So in order to find out, we are going to check the all the elements in an array by using the syntax called array dot length. All the elements it is going to loop through. So here we have another program. So here we are using a two for loops. So first loop is outer for loop and another one is inner loop. So which is going to interrelate. So here we are using a I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Here you are going to check the condition. If I equal to 1 and j equal to 1, so both are 1, so then break the outer loop. So then it is going to print the value of j and I. So let us execute this particular program. So here we have used a label called in outer loop. here you have used a label called inner loop. So where this particular things are used. So whenever you are going to use a break outer loop, this particular loop will be broken. This particular loop will be broken. So here inner loop, for inner loop we have not given to break, so it will not break. So now it has shown 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2 and 1 and 0. So now it has executed the values. So what the value of I and j will be printed. So because it has breaked the outer loop, so only for loop has executed one. So once it has breaked, so then the value of I and j will be printed. So when it should be breaked, so now I value equal to 1 and j equal to 1. So both are 1. So then it has broken the outer for loop. So outer for loop is having a value 0, 1. So at 1 it has broken. So next it has to execute, but it came to inner loop and inner loop has executed. So now finally it has printed the 1. So particular inner loop has executed 0, 1 and 2. So but outer loop has broken when it will be remaining 0. So because it has broken when it found the 1. So outer loop has broken, then again inner loop, so it has executed. So now at last it has printed the I equal to 1. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.